Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Farming Simulator 22 as we continue our Elmcreek start from scratch run here. And a couple things to talk about since the last episode. Also kind of explain why there's a little bit of a break in the episodes. Because this week, the new free DLC, Precision Farming, launched. Interestingly enough, I'm personally more interested in the free DLC than I was in the paid DLC they just came out with, but I'd already paid for the DLC because I bought the season pass, so whatever, I got it anyway. But no, this Precision DLC is one that I definitely was interested in. There's a lot of cool things about it that I personally enjoy because I used it with the Swiss map in Farming Simulator 19 when that came out, and it's basically the same kind of idea, but they've added a few new things to it as well. So yeah, the new DLC primarily shows up right here. This is where the precision farming information comes in, and as you can see as I'm zooming in here, all these little numbers start popping up, and that's one of the new things they did not have in 19, and that is this concept of an environmental score. And so what is an environmental score? I just realized something. Okay, well, let me get to the environmental score first before I get too carried away with something that I was just thinking about. The environmental score is effectively how good are you at being green, maybe, or precise and environmentally friendly and whatever other terms you want to use. And it's really all about conservation of resources. You don't want to be running your tractor all over the place because that burns gasoline, and obviously burning gasoline for no reason is bad. So you only want to burn your tractor for very specific things. You don't want to just spray your herbicide all over the place because herbicides, overall just kind of not good to have, but you still want to kill the weeds. And so the concept of spot spraying the specific little plops of weeds instead of just weeds growing over the entire field. Things like doing a shallow cultivator instead of a plow, because a plow digs deeper and uses up more fuel. Whereas a shallow cultivator just skates across the top more or less and will be a little bit more efficient overall. So things like that, that's where that tillage thing I think comes in. Those all come into play and give you an environmental score. As you can see at the bottom of the environmental score right now, actually you cannot see it. Let me move my camera out of the way. It says your environmental score, I just realized my camera was in the wrong spot anyway. Your environmental score does not affect the sell price. If you get up to a certain point, you can get an increase in sell price for your goods. Which is where it kind of makes up for some of the cost of doing this. It is a little bit more expensive in some ways, especially some of the upfront equipment, but it also saves you money in other ways. So there's pros and cons. If you have the precision stuff installed and you don't want to do anything precision, you should probably uninstall it. And the reason I say that is because if your environmental score gets too low, you actually get a penalty for selling your crops. So don't install this mod or this DLC unless you actually plan on doing stuff with it. But again, if we can get it all the way up to the green, all the way up to 100, we actually get, I think it's a 15% price increase. It's not too bad. I don't know yet if that affects production level products like the bread. Obviously, we didn't get the bread off the field. We had to get the bread from the flour to get to the factory. So I don't know if it affects that or not. But I assume it would affect things like our silage that we're going to be selling, because that comes right off the field. So we'll see. We'll learn a little bit of this together. But some of the things that are similar to what they had in 19, obviously soil types, we've seen that in 19, if you guys remember that. The pH stuff, that was part of 19. Nitrogen, this determines how much fertilizer you need to put down. The yield, I think that was in 19, right? Pretty sure it was. Based on different factors, your yield can either go really low or go all the way up to 125% increased yield. That's part of the reason why I did something, and I'll show you what I did here in a second. Things like seed rate. Different crops will need to seed at different rates based on the type of soil that you're putting it into. All of this, the good thing about all of this is that if you've got the right equipment or the right modifications installed on your equipment, all of this is basically handled by computers. And this is really what happens. There really is, from my understanding, a sprayer. It has little cameras over the spray heads that can actually use a computer to identify whether there's weeds there or not and turn on the sprayer to kill the weeds and turn it off to just preserve the crop, which is really, really cool if you think about it. So a lot of this precision farming stuff is probably, I'm assuming all of it is 100% realistic, even though it sounds like, wow, this is kind of crazy. It's what they really do these days to be the most efficient with their farming. And so that's what we're going to try and do ourselves. One of the big things I like about it is that it actually shows where you fertilized and all that kind of stuff on the mini map. That's the thing I've been wanting forever, and it definitely shows it here, which is really, really cool. So if you look in the top right-hand corner and you were to compare this to the end of last episode, you will see that I have about a exactly $50,000 increase in what we left off with. And the reason for that is I did this with all my saves. I went in and edited the game files and gave myself $50,000 extra across all the game files. The story I'm telling to justify that is that if we're going to promise to go green here and be more precision farming, that the government, you know, I think it's not unrealistic to think that the government would subsidize you a little bit to give you a little bit of helping money to encourage you to go green, because, you know, it's for their best interest as well. And so that's how I'm justifying the extra $50,000. But really, I don't want to wait and start a brand new game before I can do precision farming. I wanted to do it now, but jumping into the middle of a game, it is challenging. In fact, the $50,000 is not actually enough. For one, we're going to have less crop yields than we would have if I just left it turned off, because our fields aren't completely prepped for the way that precision farming would want them to be. Also, we're going to have to buy some new equipment. The sprayer that we have over there, the back will technically suffice, but we're probably just going to sell it anyway. The front we can't use anymore because we need to put something on the front to regulate how much fertilizer we put down. We've got to relime our fields because they're all going to be off on their pH. So even though they didn't need liming before we showed up, we're going to have to relime. So there's a lot of expenses up front to be able to get precision farming rolling. Again, technically the $50,000 is probably not enough, but I'm going to see if I can make do with it, because I want to do the precision farming, and I figured this is the best way to make that happen, have a kind of a realistic reason to have the extra money, and kind of go from there. But anyway, so that's where we're at. As of right now, we don't need to do anything with our fields right this second because they're not ready to harvest yet. We've got our brand new mower over there, as you guys remember from the last episode. Probably a little crazy for me to buy that, but, you know, hey, I really like it. So, what else do we need to do here? Oh, one other thing we do need to do, that they added into the game. Where is it? It's over here. It's related to the precision farming, but it's not necessarily related to the field kind of part of the precision farming. And that is under sheds, I think it is. Yes. No, go down here. Under sheds, we have these two new little buildings over here. We've got just a building with an RTK base station and a shed with an RTK base station. I mean, the shed's probably pretty cool. I bet it opens up and you can store stuff inside there. And truth be told, I actually would not mind having that somewhere at some point, but we're not ready for that yet. But if we were to push this down somewhere on the map, it doesn't matter where. It could be anywhere on this map at all. All of our workers across the entire map are, I think it said up to 10 or 11% more efficient. Like, they're faster and they're more precise and they just do a better job. So it's cheaper to use workers in places. So we definitely want to get this down because in the long run, it will actually save us money. I would like I said, I would like the shed, but I don't want to spend $39,000 for the shed when we're going to spend money on other things here shortly. So I'm going to put this, I'm not sure where I want to put this. I mean, I could put over here on this little field. I might just put over here, honestly, where the house, I mean, kind of near where the house would be. Why is it suddenly going slower? Honestly, I might just put it right here. And this where this little thing was. That actually kind of fits. Let's see. Can I get this lined up properly? Probably not. Knowing me. Should probably use the mouse. Okay, I'm going to use the mouse. I think that's pretty close. Can I turn around? Yeah, okay. It doesn't have to, oh no, I guess that was way off. Assuming that grass was even remotely close. What? Okay, no, actually I think the grass is off. Because I think this actually does look more in line. In fact, I can line it up with this ledge here, this little edge here, to get it horizontally correct, and then just put it back there. Good enough. All right, that'll work. So now we have that, and all of our workers will be better. So figured why not? We'll put it somewhere. Now it kind of looks like a guard station because, you know, we got to protect our farm. But that is that. That's a big chunk of our $50,000 already gone. And we still got other things to buy. We do need to we need to return our sprayer at some point. Now is not the time that we have to do it, though. We only have to do it once it's time to spray weeds. And the sprayer we need to get is this sprayer, right? Where am I looking for? Sprayers. It's on here on the end. It's a John Deere sprayer. And the problem with this though is that, yeah, 52,000 bucks, not too bad, right? One problem. We need to get the $39,000 cameras that get installed on there to be precise. So that is a very expensive piece of equipment. We cannot actually afford it right now. We might have to lease it for the first little bit. We shall see. Anything else we need to do right now? Trying to think if I thought there's more I needed to talk about, but I think that's it. There's nothing here that we care about. Nope. And we don't have any contracts we can pick up, which we probably need to start doing a few contracts on the side to make up for some of the extra gap that we're missing for this precision farming stuff, but that's okay. Fields are dormant because it's January, so we'll just fast forward until it's time to do something with them. What's the price on things that we care about? Mostly bread. Actually, a very good price. Do we have any bread? Extra 1,800 bucks would not be bad right now. I think we sold all the bread last time, didn't we? Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, let's fast forward to a new day. And like I said, pretty soon we're going to have to be ready to do some of this precision farming stuff. We're not going to be able to do the lime until after we are done with the grass. Yeah. Some of the stuff that we want to do is going to have to wait. All right, so it's definitely snowing. Obviously, the grass should not be growing. Still just... Well, should not be growing. Should not be ready to harvest yet. It's still technically growing. So we're still waiting. Nothing else for us to do. I guess I could have paid off a little bit of the loan just to save us a little bit of money. And when are we planting again? We're planting our sorghum in April. So should be able to mow either March or April, and that will be the last time we can mow. And then we've got to plant in April. Actually, we might be able to plant in May if we can mow twice. Which I think is actually how we want it to work out. I didn't check the contracts, but I probably should. I don't expect really hardly any contracts over the winter. I mean, it's a nice shallow cultivator, but we're going to hopefully cultivate with our seed at the same time. It's a nice harvester. It's like a really nice harvester, actually. Too bad we can't afford that. And then contracts. We do have quite a few contracts now. So I don't remember if I talked about this. Did I talk about the new contract mod that I turned on? Or was that, when did I turn that on? I think I turned that on with the Swiss run. And then I don't think I've talked about it here. So I have a new mod that mostly is information only. And that's primarily how I'm going to use it. There is a little bit of an element of quality of life that's thrown in there. But the mod is called Better Contracts. And if I turn these details on, it's really where you're going to see the power of this mod. And what we can do here is we can see approximately how long they expect a contract to take, what the overall kind of usage of materials should be close to, how much that's going to cost, and then just ultimately the one that I care about, the profit per minute. In fact, we can even sort these contracts by profit per minute. So we can see this one up here is worth $436 per minute, assuming it gets pretty close to this time estimate, which so far I've seen is relatively close. I mean, this contract right here might not be exactly 4 minutes, but it's going to be a lot closer to 4 minutes than 20 minutes. And so it's going to be relatively close to this amount. That's actually the best contract by far. None of these other ones are even close to, none of these other ones are even over 300. But that's another way to kind of get an idea of just overall good contracts to pick up, worth your time, that type of thing, and kind of go from there. So there's that. The other aspect of this, though, is that technically I could take more than 3 contracts. I might take 4 just to kind of have a little bit of flexibility and like picking up equipment from one to be able to use on another. I don't know if I'm going to go crazy with it because I'm not trying to abuse it necessarily. That's just more of a side effect of it. And then the other thing is that it does kind of add a little bit of extra equipment here that you might not normally see, just to kind of change things up a little bit, which is why some of the fertilizing contracts have different fertilizing equipment, which in our case probably doesn't really help us that much, right? Because we don't have manure to be able to spread with this one. So this one would not be able to do with this particular equipment. But it's just kind of interesting that it changes things up a little bit. On some of our maps, maybe it will help us. You never know. Yeah, some of these, I mean, these contracts are not that great. There's one with slurry, for example. I mean, this one's not bad. If I'm going to do one, I'm going to do more than one. Kind of don't want to do any of these right now, though. They're just not that good. At least not with the equipment they provide with us, or provide us with. I mean, I do need to do some contracts at some point. I may wait till it's next month when we're actually mowing, unless it's this month we're mowing. No, we're ready to harvest, so never mind. We probably will do some contracts, although this thing is going to go extremely quickly. The one bad thing about this mower, and the fact that we went ahead and picked it up, is going to be the fact that it is, I think, a little bit wider, right, than the regular stuff. So presumably it might throw off our lines here a little bit. But we definitely want to make sure that it is swath dropping for sure. We got left, we got right, we got the wide, and we got the regular swath, just like the other thing. And I mean, I kind of want to do this myself just so I can make sure I get everything in the right lines. But if I'm going to do that, I want to get something else set up on one of the other fields. Get that at least started. Yeah, let's get something going. We need to work through some of these. The sowing ones might not be that bad if I can get the right type of sower. Like a good sower. None of these are like that good. There's a sower for cotton that's actually not that bad. It's a good contract, but it's going to take us an hour to do it, which is the problem. So that's not really worth it. I can borrow from this one. So both of these, they're actually right near close to each other. And technically we go through some of these other ones and sow those as well with that bigger piece of equipment. Like this one, for example. Actually, probably what I would do is I'd borrow both of those wider sowers and double up on some things. Because if this one's going to take 21 minutes and this one's going to take 51 minutes, and they both have the exact same piece of equipment, then to do both fields, it would take me, what, 30 minutes? About 35 minutes? So that's not bad. Let's see if we can get this. I need to do something, even if I have to go offline and like let this run offline a little bit, so I'm not boring you guys completely. And then let's grab, definitely grab some cotton ones, or anything else that would use this type of sower. Oats would not, potatoes would not, sugar beets will, so we can grab this contract. And then potatoes would not, cotton will. So let's grab, I'm going to go ahead and grab the 4. I'm going to leave it at the 4, and that's it. That's where I'm going to go with that. It's not the best sower in the world, but I think we can make it work. So we've got the variable seed rate turned on right now. Do I want to deactivate that? Because we don't know what these fields are, right? We haven't done any scanning of these fields. So I don't know if that really actually helps us. I'm just going to buy some more seed from here. In order to do that, I need some money. Just because I know I'm going to eventually use the seed over at my farm anyway. So I don't want to just... What am I doing? Looking for the seed. We'll just buy it here and that'll be fine. We'll buy 4 bags. That seed as well, or is that just fertilizer on the front? I'm assuming that is just fertilizer. Okay, this seed, you gotta be kidding me. No. Why is that not... That is just fertilizer? This thing does not hold hardly any seed. This is actually really... This is going to be annoying. This is going to be really annoying. Just out of curiosity, if I drop that off, yeah, that is just this fertilizer. Okay. Well, if nothing else, it's a weight for the front right now, but that is not going to be fun to deal with. Let's see, which fields are we looking for? Well, 72, 69, we're going to probably save for last. Field 36 and 50. We kind of want to zip over to right now. 50 is obviously right next to us, so that's probably a good one for us to zip over to first. I may have to get like a little trailer or something like that to bring some seed to these guys. 600 liters of... That is really bad. All right, you're going to head over to 36. We'll figure out what crop you actually need when we get over there. 36. Let's zip down this road, I guess. All right, so 50 is going to be... sugar beets. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this seed's the way it needs to be seeded. And we're not like overseeding or anything crazy. We probably are overseeding because, you know, whatever. Since we don't actually know what kind of soil this is. I mean, I have an idea what kind of soil this is because I've already done the scans on my other save that uses the exact same field. But it doesn't help us right this second. Okay, so this is sugar beets. We'll get you rolling. I have a feeling we're going to have to fill you up before you can get too far along, but... we'll deal with that when we get there. All right, let's get you over here. How expensive is a little auger wagon, or auger trailer, whatever? Those things are really good at just filling up with a whole bunch of seed and just carry that around with you. I might be able to lease one for a couple $100. Just to save us from driving back and forth. All right, so field 36 needs to be cotton. Cotton. And we do not want to have automatic... oh, wait. Yeah, we'll just turn that off. I don't think the variable's not available for cotton anyway. I think it's just for like wheat, like some of the grain products and stuff like that. I'm not sure if cotton will ever... it's like something they're going to add to it, or if it's just... that's just not a thing that you do. All right, so cotton going. Anything else we want to do right this second? I don't think so. I think we're going to run this. I wish this thing had the GPS, but that's all right. We'll lower more, turn on more. And can I get a better view here? The thing about me driving this is that it will grab a little bit of that outer edge as well. Although I'm not driving a very good straight line. Alright, left mower. Oh, it's not gonna lift both, is it? Oh, there it goes. I was gonna say, where's it? Where's the back? Come on. There you go. I really like this thing. This thing's so easy to just zip along. Mow. Done. Actually, not sure if this thing can have the GPS. I didn't... Did we look at that when we bought it? Or did we not have the GPS set up yet? I can't remember. We'll get a little bit of the outer edge here. Not much. The wind rowing as neatly as I was hoping it would, but I think we'll still be okay. Come on. It's like a little bit of a delay there. Come on. Oh, this outer edge didn't grow back yet, did it? Sure there's a way to adjust that delay. I actually wouldn't mind it just popping them down all at the same time. Don't see anything at the moment. I went a little bit faster. I don't know what changed. Is it based on how fast I'm driving or something? Maybe so. All right, there we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put a cut in there. Went a little bit over time, but I was kind of going over all the precision farming stuff. As you can see, though, let's just before I jump off here real quick, we can see already. These are telling us some of the seed rates and stuff like that because it's kind of doing a little bit of a not really a scan necessarily, but I don't know. You can kind of determine that this is where the soil types are going to be a little bit different. But really, what I want to show you is the yields here. As you can see, our yields are atrocious. Atrocious, whatever. You know that word. Really, really bad. We are getting really bad yields on these fields because they're not prepped. They're not prepped properly with the precision farming stuff. That's part of the reason why I gave us the injection of money. It still probably wasn't enough money, quite frankly. based on how much we're probably going to end up losing, but we'll make it work. We'll work through it and we'll get it all figured out. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put it in there, cut in there. I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.